we've been working with a number of companies that build sophisticated products. One of the big problems that we see in product design is security tends to come at the end of the process rather than during the process. And it's largely because there's this like security team out there that kind of looks at the product at the very end rather than is something that is infused in the actual team itself. So can you talk a little bit about how, when you're thinking about products, how security is infused throughout it?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question, Leif. So, there is two movements that are happening. One is called secure by design and also privacy by design, because the same problem on security is also happening with privacy, where people would design the website that would take all kinds of information, and then you say, why do you really need that information and how long are you going to keep it for? Mm-hmm. And so these two things, what companies are trying to do is, as they build products, they're trying to infuse these principles right at the design stage in terms of how do you build secure by design and privacy by design. That's one movement that's happening. The challenge is, even if you do these two principles, if I look at a company like a Netflix or one of the Silicon Valley companies, right, they're going from once a year release to a once a quarter release to once a month release to now multiple releases within a single day. And so if you take a traditional mindset of saying, I'm going to create a product, then I send the ball to the security team spends a couple weeks, and then they come back and say, you need to fix these 6 things. That model can't work if you have to do a release every day or even once a month. And so there is a new movement in the industry, and it's called DevSecOps. Mm-hmm. And the idea behind DevSecOps is your development. In the past, you had 3 teams. Developers who would develop. Then you had the guys, they would say, okay, here is the code. You guys run and operate it. And then there was a security team that you had to go before they could operate it to say, hey, do I have vulnerabilities? Now they're bringing all of these 3 teams together because they're trying to drive a lot of automation, a lot of tooling to say, all things that I'm going to deploy as microservices, as containers, are they really secure by design? Or can I check out the boxes? So instead of always going to the security team and saying, hey, can I get your permission? Security team has said, these are my set of principles. You codify these principles as automated scripts. So that way, right when you're going to be deploying things, they get automatically checked. If they're a problem, you can go and build it. If they're cleared out, then you can go and, get your releases deployed. So it's very interesting how this field has sort of, evolved from not thinking about security to thinking about security by design to not thinking about true DevSecOps.